Hello students, welcome to JCE eConnect channel. Today we'll cover the anti-pattern signature based malware detection versus polymorphic threats. The conventional wisdom is that the system with up to date antivirus signatures will be safe. I'll repeat, the conventional, what we think, the systems with up-to-date antivirus, if I have antivirus in my system, the systems with up-to-date antivirus signature will be safe. However, many popular antivirus solutions are nearly obsolete, with many missing majority of new malwares. Current signature-based antivirus engines miss 30% to 70% of malicious code and nearly 100% of zero-day infection, which by definitions are unreported exploits. Malicious signature growth is exploding from 5 new one per day in 2000 to 1500 per day in 2007 and more than 15,000 per day in 2009 according to the Symantec, which is from the 2010 conference briefing on the reputational anti-malware, which is the average of 200 to 300% cumulating growth per year. Malware variability has grown so rapidly that signature-based detection is rapidly becoming obsolete. The malware variability growth has so rapidly that signature-based detection is rapidly becoming obsolete. The proliferation of malware signature is exploding primarily due to polymorphic malware techniques. For example, hash functions used by signature-based detectors yield very different values with only slight changes to a malicious file. Changing a string literal in the files is sufficient to trigger a false negative. Other polymorphic techniques includes varying character encoding, encryption, and random values in the file. What is then polymorphic malware? First, we'll see what is polymorphic malware. Polymorphic malware is a type of malware that constantly changes its features. Polymorphic malware threat is a type of malware that constantly changes its identity, changes its features in order to evade detection. Many of the common forms of malware can be polymorphic, including viruses, worms, bots. Polymorphic technique involves frequently changing identifiable characteristics. It continuously changes its characteristic like file names and types or encryption keys to make the malware unrecognizable to many detection techniques. Polymorphic technique, it involves frequently changing characteristic in the form of, say, file name, types of encryption like encryption key to make the malware unrecognizable to many detection techniques. Polymorphic is used to evade pattern matching detection relied on by security solutions like antivirus software. While certain characteristics of polymorphic malware changes, its functional purpose remains the same. It will be changing its characteristic, but its function remains the same. I'll repeat, polymorphic threat will be changing its characteristic, but its function remains the same. For example, a polymorphic virus will continue to spread and infect devices even if its signature changes to avoid detection. By changing the characteristics to generate a new signature, signature based detection solutions will not recognize the files as malicious. Even if the new signature is identified and added to antivirus solutions, signature database polymorphic malware can continue to change the signature and carry out the attacks without being detected. Examples, like some of the examples of polymorphic malware includes storm email, the infamous spam email sent in 2007 with the subject 230 dead as storm batters Europe was at one point responsible for as much as 8% of all global malware infections. I'll repeat. One of the example of polymorphic malware includes storm email, the infamous spam email sent in 2007 with the subject 230 dead as storm batters Europe was at one point responsible for as much as 8% of all global malware infections. When the messages attachment is opened, the malware installs Wincom32 service and a Trojan onto the recipient's computer, transforming it into a bot. One of the reasons the Stormworm was so hard to detect with traditional antivirus software was the malicious code used morphed every 30 minutes or so. One interesting online application from virustotal.com runs more than 30 antivirus programs on each file that any internet user can submit. You can witness just how haphazard antivirus tests are. The threats posed by polymorphic malware. Many malware strains now have polymorphic capabilities, rendering traditional antivirus solutions ineffective at detecting and stopping the malware prior to compromise. For years, the conventional wisdom on malware protection has been to invest in preventative solutions like antivirus, firewalls, and IPS. However, these solutions do not work against polymorphic malware. I'll repeat. For years, the conventional wisdom on malware protection has been to invest in preventative solutions like antivirus, firewall, IPS. However, these solutions do not work against polymorphic malware. The fact that some polymorphic techniques are used in nearly all successful attacks today means that if your company is relying on these solutions, then you are leaving yourself open to attack. The fact that some polymorphic techniques are used in nearly all successful attacks today means that if your company is relying on these solutions, then you are leaving yourself open to attack. So this is regarding the polymorphic attack, the signature based malware detection versus the polymorphic threats.